Well, hello everybody. This is a bit of a surprise after some wet days. It was very misty this morning, but yeah, bright sunshine, and out for a run. I thought I'll do a running review of my recent reading of young Mr. Turgenev, the Russian. Now, yeah, interesting stuff. So I've read 4 books now by Turgenev. The first was short stories, sketches of a hunter's album. It's masterpiece, it really is. Thoroughly recommend it. Now he's written a few novels. His most famous is Fathers and Sons. I've read that. I've also read Rudin, or Rudin, however you pronounce it. And I've also read On the Eve. Just finished On the Eve. So the order that I read them was sketches, Rudin, Fathers and Sons, and I've just finished On the Eve. And you know, like good classics should, it's got me thinking. Now, you know, I really do thoroughly recommend Sketches from a Hunter's Album. Can't recommend it highly enough. Now, yep. The novels. Now, I've got a lot of Russians to read through. I must have 30 books there waiting. Look at that. It's running past me because I'm running and chatting. And so, yeah, for a Turgenev. Now, having praised him, I'm going to say something terrible. The 3 books, Fathers and Sons, Rudin, and On the Eve, it's a variation, it's terrible, of the same book. It really is. So, yeah. So I'll describe. It's so difficult not to spoil it. I won't tell you that the butler did it in the end, but it's difficult to talk about a book. Anyway, here goes. So these books are, of course, well, they're written 1850, 1860, I think, round about that time. And Russia was carved up into little mini areas, and you'd have an aristocrat that would own peasants, whatever you want to call them. So there was an aristocracy, and there was the plebs, whatever you want to call them, ordinary people, and they would belong to the aristocrats. So your maid couldn't just marry somebody in the next, you know, whatever. You could just marry someone on the other side of the country. It belonged to the master. All very strange. And it just makes you kind of think, how did the country end up like that? So they would have had, what, the Mongols in the east at some point in 1200s to 1400s. They would have had the Vikings, whatever you want to call them, Scandinavian people pushing in from the west, carving up the territory, building it up. So how did that situation arise? How do 1,000 people agree to have a master of one? Very strange. Excuse me. So anyway, so that's the kind of the background of the book, and Turgenev is kind of, look at that beautiful blue sky. Oh wow, you can't see the land on the other side just because of the low sky and the mist. Oh wow. I'll tell you what, I won't keep running up and down the hill. Let's go on the prom and you can have that as the backdrop. That's a better idea, isn't it? Oh, how beautiful is that? Look at that. Low-lying crowd so you can't see the lakes. Anyway, so where was I? Oh yeah, so that's the background. And Turgenev, he came from that aristocracy and he's kind of, you know, teasing at it, hinting at it. But let's forget Huntsman sketches for the time being. But the three books, how they're basically the same. So all three books have this construction. There is, at the start, you'll have like a household with some of these minor aristocrats going to each other's houses, talking to each other, and some person who is introduced off screen is brilliant. So all three of them. So in Fathers and Sons, it's Bazarov. In Rudin, it's Rudin. In On the Eve, it's Insarov. They're all versions of the same character. So these people are said to be brilliant. Then they turn up, all three are tacti turn, and all three are on a mission, a revolutionary mission. Now, this is a kind of weird thing. So we're looking at it now, after communism, after millions of people are dead, and after, we're doing all this for the people. So these people, when they're talking, they don't openly call for revolution. Perhaps you couldn't have said that back in the time. It's just always brilliant. Yeah. Oh. And well, I'm a narcissist. Not a narcissist. Yeah, I'm a narcissist. I'm a oh, it'll come to me. Yeah, so basically I want to burn everything down, start again, and do what? Well, that doesn't matter. So it's all that. It's all really strange. And these people do not cook their own tea. They don't mend their own clothes, they don't make their own clothes. They do nothing apart from hobnob at each other's houses. The ones in these three books don't even bother go shooting. Yeah, they just talk to each other. Have you read this book? Have you read the latest? Yeah, it's just all about personal relationships. It's nothing to do with ordinary people, nothing to do with the serfs. They're way in the distance, never mentioned. It's nothing to do with them. These people, well, these people probably wipe their backside and they don't even get a mention. It's not, oh, we're doing, let's have a revolution to free the people. It's not like that at all. It looks like aristocracy with nothing to do, bored. I mean, imagine, your ancestors, maybe, you're squeezed out of, Genghis Khan's golden horde. You're one of the leaders there, horseback, firing off arrows, or your ancestry is, Scandinavian. You've come across in a boat, starving, cold, wet. You fought found a bit of a river, fought off the locals, fought off some of your own tribe, your band, you've taken over this area, you've settled, yeah? Send a bit of tribute back to Danish king, whatever, and then all that drifts off, and it just, all that's left of it is, you're not now king because you're right, you are the best fighter. You're now king because you wear the right clothes, you got the right manners, you got the right blood. I come from a long line of Turgenevs. Yeah? Alright, what about me? How dare you? So, you know, it's like looking at Prince Charles now. All due respect, sir, you ain't no warrior, are you? Yeah? So, you know, that's the background to it. So all these people, it's just so, like, end of empire, nowhere else to go. Oh, you know, they're bored. Well, it's just that feeling. It's not, we must free the people. You know, we must do this, we must do that. It's just so nihilistic. Nihilistic. That's the word. Burn it down. Yeah, where's the good new people? Oh, all of Russians. Worthless. It's just terrible. You know, when you think over in the West, you know, you had America, go to America, freedom, you know, get your own piece of land, build it up. You know, yeah, you might have to fight some Indians, yeah, but build it up, get your own territory, make a city, you know, have 12 kids, build a family, the Oregon Trail, you know. So, I mean, is America, you know, what's happening there now? Is that going a bit the same way? That's the worry, isn't it? You know, Western society, we must apologise for this, we must apologise for that. Who to? Who am I apologising to? Sod off! Bit of a diversion. So, anyway, back to the books. So, as well, so you have these men on a mission. Oh, yeah. And they're always getting the claws into the young. The old are always, oh, old hat, set in their ways. Oh, terrible, terrible ways. Yeah, the new. Well, but what is the new? Okay, get on with it. So they get the claws into the young, and then the young are all, oh, they're brilliant. They're marvellous, they are. Absolutely marvellous. So, yeah, it's all fantastic. It's all going to be fantastic. And then these men on a mission in the books, there's always like female interest, and they're always, you know, they speak the mind a bit. They've got a bit of their own independence. You know, never done a day's work in their life, never stitched a button on a dress, don't dress themselves. People that dress them get barely a mention, you know, but oh no, you know, these women, they're just bing. So he's put on a pedestal as a revolutionary, ping, she's put on a pedestal, and oh, at first I didn't like him. Oh no, I didn't like him. What are they all looking at him for? 2 minutes later, I've never talked to anybody as interesting as you, and I'll go with you wherever you want me to go. I'll do whatever you want to do. I will abandon my country. I will abandon my parents, and I'll follow you to the end of the world. Now, if you want to look away now at a bit of a spoiler, then you can look away now. So, and it's all, you know, so none of this is done for the people, mind you. One of them is Bulgarian, and he's fighting for the freedom of his people against the Turks or something or other. But yeah, then, before it can all happen, he gets taken ill. Will he live, or will he not live? That is the question. before, you know, before Utopia. So it's like, all right. So, and then it goes towards the end of the book. Yeah. So, if you're looking for some brilliant character studies, you know, some fantastic little snippets of countryside, he is absolutely fantastic. But if you're looking for, you know, some kind of, you know, good story, you know, like a uplifting, you know, like a Pride and Prejudice, you know, something like that, you know, love comes good in the end, or a, you know, a Louis L'Amour, you know, cowboy, fighting off, looking after the women, you know, triumphing in the end, you know, go off and have your own house, you know, your own bit of cattle, you know, if you want that. No. So it's like, you're really looking almost at a society with, you know, kind of like, you know, I'm bored, you know, real pick at a scab, you know, real, you know, on each of the 3 books, you know, not saying I nearly didn't finish them, but you just kind of thinking, you know, halfway through, oh God, I'm only halfway through, you know, it's a similar story, you know, not, you know, you're hoping every time, is this going to construct, is this going to go somewhere, are we going to have a victory or two? No, not at all. So, yeah, you know, after Sketches of a Hunter's album, I was really looking forward to his novels, but there's kind of a bit of a clue when they were saying that was his masterpiece. It's like, short stories are his masterpiece, nothing against that. Yeah, but it's kind of like, hang on, how many novels are there? You know, there's still got a few that I haven't read, The Smoke and something else. So, yeah. So, like I say, you know, that's my review, the Turgenev. If you're going to say whether I recommended anything, then it's obviously Hunters, short stories. So you can tell me off for that if you give it a go and don't like it. But it's fair warning on the others, I think. Right. Oh. Now imagine you're coming into that bay. Vikings have been in here, Romans, Saxons, Celts. They were trying to make something of their life, yeah? Come on, Turgenev, get a bloody grip, man.